Life so far has been pretty good. Initially, it was hard because both me and my husband we were newly married. So not only were we understanding each other, getting on the same frequency, running a house together for the first time, but it was also like all other factors, like when you move abroad you have to take care of all the paperwork, figuring out where to get groceries, especially here because Indian groceries are not very common, so there are only few places you get all those things combined. I really feel overall I have grown so much in the last 1.5 years than I did before. Oh my god, adulting, marriage life, and moving abroad. I just did everything all together. It was overwhelming initially. When I came here, I was so homesick all the time. I was just thinking about home, and especially during the first month because we were stuck in the hotel. The most impactful things that happened in the last 1.5 years. Life is slow here. In India, I was in Bangalore for almost 7-8 years. I studied in Bangalore, I was working there. Fast, life was fast. And even when I was working from home, I was literally doing so many things because everyone is rushing for one thing or the other, and so was I. Like, I would finish my office, then I would come back home, eat food, spend time with my family, friends, and then immediately get on my computer and start writing or, start working on my other engagements. After coming here, I realized that that's not the way. You need to learn to be slow and understand that life is always not rushed. It was a crazy transition for me because I've been a hustler. If you guys know me, I started this channel right after college, and I started my writing career with a full-time job. I was always doing 2-3 things together and always rushing, and weekends were more busy for me because I had to do not only take care of all the things but meet friends, party, have fun, and also do all these recordings and whatnot. After coming here, you will notice how people just live. They are not rushing for anything. They believe in living life, and everyone is on an island time. When we first arrived, and when we went to a restaurant, we ordered, and everything was kind of slow, and especially for people coming from India, because in India you have the waiters running, the managers running, coming to you, checking how things are, and everything is very fast paced. But here, everyone was relaxing, living in the moment. They were not rushing, okay, I have to finish my meal and then go home and, do some work or send that email. No, everyone is at peace, relaxed, and enjoying the surroundings, the nature, breathing deeply. I wasn't comfortable with that, I'm not gonna lie. But then I started understanding it, because when you live in such a beautiful place, when you understand the meaning of life, I'm not saying that back at home people do, but there are so many other factors. There are a lot of people, so you always have to fight for what you deserve or what you want. And I did that, and I had to work so hard to get out of that mindset, get out that hustle mindset, and started enjoying the slow life. And that's why I started writing about it also, because with the things that are happening in the world, with where the world is going, we all need to calm down. We all need to slow down instead of rushing fast. So that was like the biggest change I saw happening in how I live my life and how I think. The second thing that happened was independence. Now, I've made a completely different video on what nobody tells you about moving abroad. It's gonna be coming out next week. Yes, I'm trying very hard to be consistent. So in that video, I've covered all the nitty-gritties of moving abroad. But what I see after coming here is independence. You are independent. You do not have a family you can count on. You do not have like a big circle. You are very independent. You are on your own. So I think that happens to most of the people who move abroad, because you are starting everything from scratch. You're finding new friends, new place to live, new circle, new life, new lifestyle, everything. And you are the one making rules here. The rules are not what your parents made or what your friends are doing. You are making your own rules. You decide what you want to cook, when you want to wake up, when you want to travel, or anything. So that independence is fun initially, because you're like, wow, I've got so much freedom, I can do whatever. But then after a while, you start understanding the words that Peter Parker's uncle told him: with great power comes great responsibility, and with great independence comes a lot more responsibility. So that was a very tricky gap, like a very fine line between independence and responsibility, especially now, as you enter your 30s, things start shifting. The third thing that I started appreciating after coming here is nature. I've always been a nature lover, and if you have followed me from a really long time, you would see that I would always post pictures of sky or trees, because I love nature and I feel like I get a new life every time I'm surrounded by nature. So coming here was a blessing as a nature lover, because not only do I see mountains from my house, every morning when I wake up, I see the ocean, the Caribbean Ocean. When you are so close to such beautiful places, you obviously travel more, which happened. You start enjoying life. So in India, I used to think that, oh, I know how to have fun when we travel. But actually, I didn't. I really wasn't enjoying. I was just following a prescribed way to live life. After coming here, I know how to have fun, not worry about people looking at me or judging me for what I'm wearing or anything. That freedom allowed me to enjoy more. Now I love beaches, and people ask me, Shreya, aren't you bored that you go to beaches all the time? Actually, I'm not, and I can do that forever. The fourth thing that I noticed was I started realizing what truly matters. When you move abroad, away from your family, you see life for what it is. Because in India, when you are there, you are in a bubble. And because everyone is living that life. Okay, you are turn 18, you get into college, get a job, get married, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing. Everyone is doing the same thing. We decide what we want to do. We are not following anyone. We are just living life in our own terms, and that allows us to see what matters. Like, now we understand that a degree, like, what truly matters is your life, how you feel about yourself, your mindset, your family. Oh my god, after coming here, you see the real relations. Okay, who are your family, who are your close friends, who will check on you every once in a while, and what truly matters. So that was really eye-opening, because in India you never really think about it, because you never have to. But when you move out, you think a lot, because when you start missing your family at home, you miss your friend's wedding, you miss your friend's kids or your cousin's kids, and then you start noticing that life is more than work. Life is about people. Life is about what makes you happy, what you truly want, and everything else that we see, success or this reward, that reward, everything is superficial. Honestly, ever since I got some brain, I always wanted to move abroad. I never thought how, but I wanted to do a master's. And when I started writing, when I started getting into this entrepreneurship and content creation thing, I realized that I don't want to get into masters because my plan was never to become an employee. am so I'm so excited to start my company. Then when I got into entrepreneurship and writing and content creation, I realized that I don't need an MBA. And especially with how fast the world is moving, the MBA I don't think is covering the latest things happening in our world, and I feel it's outdated. So I gave up my idea of doing an MBA from abroad, but I always had that dream. I want to go out and life is going to be like this, life is going to be like that. But honestly, after moving moving here, I realized that life is not what you see on TV, on social media. I used to see my friends who moved abroad, their pictures and all, and I would feel so jealous. Like, oh my God, they live in such a beautiful city, such a beautiful house. It's so beautiful and it's so nice, crazy, right? The things you see in movies. But when you actually move abroad, you realize the reality that what you see is not what is the truth. And yeah, you have to do a lot of work. It is not easy. And if you're not ready to buckle up, work hard, I would advise everyone to not move abroad. And if you're really thinking about moving abroad, or if you're really thinking about starting a new life in another country, I highly recommend you watch out the next video, because that one will show you the ground reality nobody will tell you. The last thing that changed is I started looking at my body differently. People here are so confident. Oh my God, I haven't seen more confident people anywhere else. The way they embrace themselves, the way they communicate, the way they do everything is just so inspiring that I started appreciating my body. I started feeling confident. I don't have a bikini body as per standard I used to have, but now I'm more confident in wearing a bikini, or wearing whatever, and not worrying about feeling bad about my body. I stopped body shaming because I realized this body is keeping me alive. And I don't think if I had moved here I would have gotten into this body positivity, because everyone around you in India, they would judge you. Oh, you become so fat. That really triggers you. That really makes you feel shit about your body. And here, everyone loves everyone. Nobody judges people for their body. People are not judgmental. So that made me not judgmental about my body, because you don't realize when people around us are judgmental, we become judgmental. And I'm not saying this to defame anyone, or just trying to portray my country in bad light. I'm just telling you my experiences. These are my opinions, these are my experiences, because as a woman I have been told that I am fat, and some of my body is too much, too little. So I'm so grateful that now I don't think of my body as, I don't think there's anything wrong with my body. I'm really grateful. Thanks to Jamaica that I am able to confidently talk about it. I wouldn't have imagined myself talking about it this freely, openly on YouTube. So this was all I had to say in the first video. I have so many coming more, and I really want you to comment below. Hotel, we did not have a kitchen, so we were not able to cook our food. We were eating out, and there are amazing Indian restaurants. And I think if some of you who follow me on TikTok, I talk about my favorite Indian restaurant here is Saffron. So we ate a lot of food from there while we were trying to adjust, and we still eat, because that's what I realized, that after coming here, that food is one thing that keeps me connected with my culture, and it makes me feel like I'm at home. So the food you eat actually truly matters. I only understood it after moving here.